down on certain kinds of speech that I like to let come out of my mouth. So, in preparation for the inevitable, we're playing Check the News every night at the normal time, but once it's over, you can't watch it on YouTube anymore. So go to my new broadcast app. There it is. You can get it in the App Store, Google Play, or just go on your browser to revivaltoday.tv. You have to subscribe, but it's free. Free for everybody, and you can always watch me there. So please do that today, and every day we're going to draw some random people and email you some random gifts once you subscribe. So go do that right now. The app is Revival Today. Download it and enjoy it. Not only is Check the News on there, all our broadcasts are on there, archived, Netflix style. And then I was going to say something else, but I forgot what it is. So download it now. Revival Today is the name of the app. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting Check the News. And you can catch all of our programs. Plus, we have 24-hour broadcasts going. Just leave it on. Enjoy. For everybody here at Revival Today, thank you. I love you. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as Adalis and I are here to announce our next big move, biggest move we've ever made for Revival Today. Behind me is a building that will look nothing like it looks right now when we finish. We're on just under 5 acres of property that we've just finished purchasing, which is going to give us the ability to have a state-of-the-art studio. And in that studio, something I've wanted to have for a long time, which is a live studio audience. It's going to be a 500-seat building when we finish with it that'll give us the ability to touch the world with our broadcasts. This facility is going to give me the ability to do what I've really missed, which is having you in the audience to minister to personally. Obviously, you can't beat the reach of digital media. We touch the whole world every day. But we have the ability now with this to lay hands on people, pray for people that are sick, a place where you can bring people that are drug addicted, demonized, and really give them the ministry that you can't get on YouTube and Facebook. I can't wait. And then beyond that, we're going to announce the launch of Revival Today Church. We're going to hold Holy Ghost church services every Sunday morning. I'll be there most Sunday mornings. This isn't going to be like some little side project. We're going to give you and your family a place you can go that's a soul-winning church that values the presence of God, where you can get prayed for and ministered to, where there's not a critical race theory lecture or a masks and social distancing 10 minutes of no talking to anybody in the lobby. None of that. We're going to have a place where you're free and where you're free to experience the presence of God.
I'm incredibly excited because I know a lot of you have been asking about different meetings and events that we couldn't have during COVID, and trust me, we tried so hard. So this really frees us up to do everything that we want to do with healing meetings and women's conferences. So I am so looking forward to seeing you and having you be a part of this.
So I want to give you a twofold call to action. Number one, if your church turned in to a liberal nightmare in 2020 and you need a place to go, I would be happy to have you at our church. Number two, if you are a partner or a friend of our ministry, Revival Today, this is the biggest move by far we've ever made. By the time we finish remodeling that building, the acquiring of the property, you're looking at a couple of M's. So if you would stand with us now, I'll say thank you ahead of time. Pray and ask the Holy Ghost what He would have you to do. You've been so generous, and I thank you ahead of time for your extreme generosity. I know I speak on behalf of my wife, everybody here at Revival Today, when I say we love you very much. And now I can say I look forward to seeing you face to face here at the new home of Revival Today.
Hey. Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Check the Market, day number 2.
Guys, I have a lot of questions today. Are you ready?
I am.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, we're going to be looking at a couple articles today. I know we talked about NEO yesterday, and if you saw it, if you got in when we were talking about it, it was up about 3%, and at the end of the day, up over 9%. So if you did get in it, you could have made some money. I am already in it, but I'm trying to regain some losses, so I still made some money. Because I bought it when it was up.
Let me check. NEO. Boom.
Where are we at?
Currently, let me see. Hold on. I'm up. $27.
Oh, that's good.
Right?
Yeah.
I was up to 30 something yesterday, so I don't know what happened. Tell me this. What happens after hours? Why does the market continue to fluctuate after hours?
After hours, there's still some trading that can be done.
Where and why?
On if you like, for example, on Robinhood, on their app, if you're one of their gold members, you can still trade after hours even though the market is closed.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I think so, because there's some things that still need to be cleared. Some stocks that still need to be cleared. People are still working. It's just because the market is officially closed. There's still some trading that can be done. It's like, for example, Currencies, you can trade 24 hours.
Right.
Yeah, it's just because the stock market is open, you can still clear some things. You can even put in orders. And there's the opening bell. And let's take a look here, see where we're at. It looks like we're up about 65 points on the Dow. And Nasdaq's up about 8 points. S&P 5. So it's kind of a shallow start to the day, but we'll see where it goes today. I have some articles that I want to go over with you. Just some things that I saw in the news that might be useful to you. So let's take a look at the first one. Battle brews over banning natural gas to homes. Do we have the full article? Okay. I want to read some of it. So there's a growing fight is unfolding in the U.S. as cities consider phasing out natural gas for home cooking and heating, citing concerns about climate change, and states push back against these bans. Major cities, including San Francisco, Seattle, Denver, and New York, who would have guessed, have either enacted or proposed measures to ban or discourage the use of the fossil fuel in new homes and buildings. 2 years after Berkeley, California, surprise, passed the first such prohibition in the U.S. in 2019. The bans, in turn, have led Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Kansas, and Louisiana to enact laws outlawing such municipal prohibitions in their states before they can spread, arguing that they are overly restrictive and costly. So just keep those states in mind. Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. All right, put up the next article. Next article. Yeah. The Southwest is America's new factory hub. I wonder why. Cranes everywhere. 5 states in the region accounted for 30% of U.S. job growth in manufacturing over 3 years, adding more than 100,000 jobs. Keep going. Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma. And they were also on that list in the first article where they're like, these states are enacting laws that prohibit it. So there you go. All the companies are moving there. So
wow,
that gives us an opportunity, because if you go to like Land Watch, you can see that there's land for sale in the deserts. I know that we talked about it on our stereo. So if those are the states where they're building all of these factories, why not see if you can acquire some land for $3,000, $7,000 an
going
acre?
for that. Exactly.
And then once those factories move out in those areas, you can sell it for a hefty profit. Yeah. Yep.
What is it?
Land Watch.
Land Watch.
Yep, exactly.
Come, you're telling me, but you need to tell the people.
Yeah. So that could be an opportunity, like a long-term investment opportunity if you're looking to buy real estate.
Is that like an app or
No,
like a website?
it's a website. But you can just Google like land in the Southwest and then see, what's around those areas that are being built up right now. What cities? Because, yeah, even in other places such as Florida, that's become.
Can you
more
give me
free.
those places again? Arizona.
Arizona, Oklahoma, Texas. What was the other one? Nevada.
Oklahoma, where the wind blows. New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Ooh, New Mexico. What up, Hobbs? Interesting. So, according to this information, what are some things that you would start investing in? Like, just based on that?
Based on that information.
Yeah. So, would this inspire you to, like, invest in anything?
It would inspire me to look for land.
Land.
Yep.
But what about Southwest?
Southwest Airlines?
Yeah.
Yeah. They have hubs. They have hubs down there. That's a good one. A good big hub in Phoenix. I believe, is it United or American that flies into Phoenix as well? And those places. So that might, I don't know how much there's going to be business travel once it ramps up. That might be a good investment. Another one is just to take a look at, like, okay, so if California and New York and those states want to phase out natural gas, so what are you looking at? People are going to have to look at different forms of heating.
Right.
If you can't heat with natural gas, there's winters there. So what are you going to do? Geothermal? People are going to have to put, like, geothermal wells in their backyards and stuff.
That's going to be a crap shoot.
Yeah, so those are the types of things that you can look at investing. Research it for yourself. See what areas you're doing it. See if there's companies out there, public companies. So those are things that you can take a look at.
That's great.
All right, let's see the next article. Digital currencies. We're talking about cryptos now. Digital currencies are the future for Russia's financial system.
Russia?
Central bank governor says. Yes. So what they're looking at doing is they're looking at developing a digital ruble, which is their currency. It'll be exchanged one-to-one with, like, paper currency, but they're looking at making this which I think, from all the sanctions, everything that they've been putting on Russia, and they're trying to get them off the SWIFT network. This is a good thing because now they're not reliant on it, but it's also going to, yes.
Do you think that Russia is behind the meat packing hack and the pipeline hack?
Okay, so here's what I think. Yeah, it could very well be that they're behind
you
it.
have all this Bitcoin stuff because remember, it was $5 million, allegedly $5 million that they got paid.
It was more.
It was 90 million in Bitcoin.
Yes.
So isn't that bizarre that they would start saying, well, now we're moving into the crypto?
I think if we see more of these, I'd like to see more of a pattern. So now it's just been two. So it's been pipeline, oil, and it's been meat. So you look at, like, what climate change activists are trying to push right now, which is let's get rid of meat because the cows are producing all of this CO2 stuff. Let's get rid of fossil fuels, right?
Yeah.
So now, okay, so I'm not going to be like a conspiracy theorist and be like, oh no, that they're attacking this on, they're attacking these things that climate change activists want gone. But if something happens again, and then if it happens again, and there's a pattern that develops,
For sure.
then at that point I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, they're definitely targeting, like, those things on purpose. And it's probably not Russia. It's probably some climate change activist hacking group or something.
You know what the difference between a conspiracy theory and truth is?
What's that?
Like 6 to 12 months.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, but listen to this. I was on my way, 'cause talking about conspiracy, it's just like the way that these stories kind of like mesh together is just so bizarre. I was on my way to drop off my kids. McDonald's had a massive semi, and it was promoting the Big Mac, all plant-based.
Yes.
I'm just telling you, like, so this is like the timing of this is insane.
It is. And then they talk about on the news about eating bugs and stuff, the cicadas
the
coming up.
cicadas. They're full of protein.
You can.
Yeah.
There's something to it, but let's wait 6 to 12 months and see. But yeah, yesterday we talked about that as well, the hack there in Australia of JBS, and at first they were saying it wouldn't affect the United States, but it looks like the majority of the meat plants in the United States from JBS had to be shut down because of the hack. And they're giving it about a week to see, how the supply chain. I do believe they still have supply out there. So
Can I ask you a question?
yes,
Crypto is not backed by the Federal Reserve or any world banking system. So it's its own thing.
yeah, it's backed by like the.
Let's
the
go to
ledger.
Bitcoin for a minute.
Okay.
Help me understand what the F Bitcoin is.
Bitcoin is
Because they're mining for Bitcoin?
yes. It's just computer power to create those. So what they do is they have these algorithms that they have to solve, and in order to solve those algorithms, they need the computing power to solve them, and then that creates like you get like paid for it basically for solving those algorithms.
So what-
or solving those like problems, and you get paid in the currency. So that's how you mine for it. But you also need that computing power to process transactions. So that's why a lot of those, and then they get a piece of that. So if you have like all of these Bitcoin and others as well. So if you have like the miners, that's how you make money, by processing these transactions and yeah. things
So
like that.
when you talk about mining,
yes,
it's not like an actual like let's dig into the
it's
earth.
not. It's not actual mining. No, it's
It's-
these GPUs, these computers that they have with like big fans and stuff that they use to solve these problems, and then they
Fascinating.
yeah.
Okay. So my question is, when is the Federal Reserve going to get their piece?
They're already talking about creating a digital dollar.
Uh-huh.
So just like with
Russia.
Russia, yeah, a digital dollar that would be then 1-to-1 with the U.S. dollar currency. But there'll always be a need for those things because they're a backup. People don't trust the government, and so there'll always be a need for those cryptocurrencies, I believe. So that's why I don't think they're going to go right down to zero, like a lot of people are saying.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of cryptocurrencies, yesterday we had some questions about some crypto-based stocks, and I did look into it. So the first one is MARA, M-A-R-A, Marathon Digital Holdings, cryptocurrency miner based in Montana, and it has over 2,000 of these ASIC miners. So that's what they use to mine those.
We're still talking about computers.
Yes, they're like computers.
Okay.
And then as well as Riot blockchain yes.
Riot?
Hey, sorry to interrupt the show. I just wanted to speak to Dallas's question. Yeah, they don't actually mine Bitcoin. There's not like Bitcoins in the core of the earth. You have to like dig down.
Listen. I literally was listening to something this morning where they said that there's helicopters that fly over these places, and they have been hiding their mining things with weed.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Patrick will further explain to you like what they mean by that. But there are not Bitcoins in the earth. Bitcoins are not naturally produced.
I just wanted to know. I wanted to know what the backing of Bitcoin was.
No, I know. And I'm just trying to help. And I still love you. And I'm still glad I married you. I love you.
Listen, if you think that was a stupid question, I've got a heck of a lot more coming for you. No, but it really isn't, because the way that there's got to be like some type of like what backs. Okay, so initially you had the gold backing the dollar. Now
Yes.
it's basically like credit.
What backs Bitcoin is scarcity. There's a limited amount of them. So other cryptocurrencies, you see there's like there's unlimited amounts of them, and they can create more. But with Bitcoin, you can't create more. There's a limited amount of them. So that's why they consider it like the gold. That's how they set it up initially. Yeah, that Satoshi guy.
So then what's the mining process? It's that's
It's
it?
just with computers.
So
It's
why
like
are they
they're-
hiding it under weed?
Because it uses so much power. So
that's a
mining
problem?
that's a problem.
With like environmentalists.
Exactly.
and stuff?
That's why Elon Musk said that Tesla will no longer accept Bitcoin for their Tesla vehicles, because it's like a climate problem. Because
Whatever,
of the amount of
like he's
energy
not
it
doing
uses
his
to
own
mine
share.
those.
Okay, go for it.
All right, the next one was
Riot.
Riot. Yes.
Yes.
Riot blockchain. It's also a cryptocurrency miner based in Colorado, and it has 8,000 of those miners.
It's RIOT, just
Yes.
like Riot. Okay.
Yes. And it has investments. It's actually investing in other sectors of cryptos, like crypto escrow services and crypto auditing and accounting services.
Ooh.
So I think, that would be a good one for people to research, look more into, see if that's something that they would like.
What are we looking at?
That's the Riot right there. That's the chart for
I
Riot.
see. Yep.
It has taken, just like the other cryptos, it took a little bit of a dip there the past couple of months, but I think that there's some opportunity there.
Wow.
It's a strong buy by a lot of analysts.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you that I'm not alone. Listen, the majority of you guys have no idea. So I am speaking for the masses. Thank you.
All right. And then a blockchain-based ETF.
Huh?
Blockchain-based ETF, an exchange-traded fund. So what that is, it's just a fund of different stocks together. So they take the money and they invest in all of these different stocks, 2% in this stock, 3% in this stock, and so you're spread out over a whole bunch of different stocks. So
Is
if
that like
one
the
of them
one
gets
that
hit,
El Prez is doing?
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's called an ETF.
ETF, exchange traded fund.
And then what's the name of that one?
BLOK, Block.
BLOK, Block.
Amplified Transformational Data Sharing. It's invested in blockchain technology, companies, and miners. So it's invested in like Mara
great.
and Riot. Yeah. And I looked at a couple other ones, but I mean, you can do the research on them. I don't think they, because they invest in Apple and Amazon and all those other companies, and you can just invest in those in other ETFs. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a blockchain ETF. All right. Let's go ahead and go over the stocks to research for the day.
I thought these were the stocks to research.
Those ones are for, There's
For
questions.
crypto.
Yeah, there were questions yesterday
Sure.
about crypto-based stocks, and so I wanted to make sure that I have some available for everybody.
Okay.
And so they can research them and see if that's something they want to put some money into. Stocks to research for the day. I'm going to start with low risk, Amazon. Yes, kind of boring, but it's a great long-term play. You want to be in it for a couple of years. That's what I think. There's risks to it, including being broken up due to antitrust. I don't know if that's going to happen because they've been talking about it for so many years, how they're going to break up Amazon, and they never do. So now Amazon's talking about getting into healthcare, opening up pharmacies like CVS in their Whole Foods stores, and then eventually stand alone. So they're expanding into all sorts of things. They just bought MGM Studios. They just bought the James Bond franchise. I believe it was $8.5 billion.
If they put a female James Bond in, I'm done with them. I think I have a lapel now, so can you guys hear me? Oh no, first of all, I'm not even in the screen chat.
I agree. No female bonds. When does monopoly become an issue in
A
the
monopoly?
company?
I believe that Amazon's already a monopoly.
So why
Monopoly, there's tons of monopoly.
why the
Go around
F
the
are we
system.
not stopping these companies from doing this?
Because
can't.
politicians like accepting money from corporations.
Of course.
This
There's
is crazy.
Yeah.
I believe that Amazon is our generation's Standard
Right.
Oil. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they're getting in all of these different. They basically control the entire
Yeah.
supply chain.
Yes.
Yeah, from creation to delivery.
How has that been okay? Literally, it's just bribes.
Yeah.
Well,
Give
basically, I
money
wouldn't.
in for
Yeah,
no- I mean, but it's
donations, political donations.
That's a bunch of baloney, yo.
All right.
all right. So low risk Amazon.
Low risk Amazon. It'll continue to grow and purchase companies, and it actually just had a little bit of a dip from 35 something back down to 3,200. So I think that it's a good time to get in if you want to.
Okay.
It's
Research it first.
$3,200 a share.
Yes, a little over
Dang.
3,200.
Okay. That was
Medium
$13.
risk. Palo Alto Networks.
Explain.
Palo Alto Networks is a cybersecurity company, and now with all of these hacks, I think that it's a good time to get into this because it looks like there'll be more of them. It seems like every month we got a new one, so it's a good time because companies are now looking at it. Am I secure? And they're going to be looking for companies that are better than just your regular Wi-Fi firewalls that you can get.
Right.
So that's one. Palo Alto Networks. more demand for cybersecurity from large multinational corporations to small businesses. The company over the past 4 years has seen consistent revenue growth. The risk to it that I see, like the biggest risk to this company, would be if there's a hack of one of the companies where Palo Alto Networks is like the person that's in charge of their cybersecurity, or the company, because that would then hit their stock if their company was compromised somehow.
That'd be a huge hit.
Yeah. So that's like the biggest risk that I see with that company. But you can research it for yourself. See what you think. High risk. Let's see where they're at. They're at 1266 right now, already up 9.6%, going down. Blackberry on
I got it.
Wall Street.
I got it.
Wall Street Bets. They're talking about it. And a lot of people are talking about it because they bought in January when it was up in like the 20s.
Yes, sir.
And so they're trying to get it back there.
Yes, sir.
So I think that they're going to be playing this one for a little bit.
I agree.
And so I think that you can make money on the swings. So if you want to day trade, I would day trade Blackberry a little bit. I mean, research it. See if you want to get into it. Yeah, it's already up 9.10.
This week,
yeah,
it's been up 31%.
yeah. And so I think that there's still some room for Blackberry.
Minus. I'm still trying to get out of that hole.
There's a ton of people on the Wall Street Bets that are in the exact same boat.
Okay, well, that's promising. Oh, yeah. I never did Safe Moon. I just didn't feel safe about it.
All right. I got one more article on cryptocurrency. Can you pull up the one for the one on Coinbase that was released this morning?
AR's done me right. I like AR.
Nope. The one for Doge is up 30%. Did I send that to you?
Fly me to the moon. Is that it?
We can go over this one real quick. So exports up. I saw that this morning. Yeah, that one. Let's go over it. Dogecoin surges more than 30%, and the crypto army cheers as Coinbase Pro network opens to transfers. So Coinbase, one of the biggest platforms for cryptocurrency trading, is opening up to Dogecoin because they're trying to get some of those profits that they missed out on because they didn't have it previously. So that's big news for Dogecoin there, that they're going to be listed on Coinbase, since it's the number one cryptocurrency platform in the US, or one of the biggest ones.
Won't he do it?
And they're also listed. They're also traded Coinbase under COIN coin. Yeah, I bought in too early.
What is
But
the
once
OIN?
once cryptocurrencies go back up, it'll go back up.
Yeah, so I'm not.
Oh, Coinbase. Got
Yeah,
it. Okay.
Coinbase. All right, let's look at the article, the one from India, the exports. You can pull that one up. Exports up 12% in April and May despite the pandemic. India's exports touched $32 billion in May 2021, over 67% higher than May last year and almost 8% more than the corresponding period in 2019. Led by a rise in the shipments of engineering goods, oil products, and iron ore. So I thought this was interesting because this is why you need to do your own research. Because if I would have listened to the news last month in May, I would have sold everything and anything that had anything to do with India, because apparently the entire country was dying.
Right.
And so, but their exports are up 12%. So obviously, I might have been overblown a little bit and a little too dramatic. So that's why you always need to check for yourself and research before you sell anything, and not just, go with your emotions.
What are good, some good, resources, because obviously, the main media is going to want to try to, make, how do I say it, manipulate the market.
Yeah.
What are some trustworthy sites, websites that you can look into for, world news?
For world news?
Yeah. Or, because obviously we have to be abreast with the facts of what's happening in India.
Yeah. Yes, check the news.
India? Are you guys talking about India and check the news?
There's I would just always use Google and just Google Indian newspaper manufacturing data or something like that, just because so that you can get it from them, or go to their ministry. So the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of they're like where they post their industrials and their statistics. That's where I would go, because then you can make up your own mind about these things.
Sure.
6,000 cars over risk of loose bolts.
Yes.
6 minutes ago.
I saw
the stock is like,
Let me take this off then.
I bought that one too high too, Tesla.
yeah, for sure.
All right, some economic data. The Fed beige book at 2 p.m. That is just the Fed is posting, what they think is going to happen in the economy, basically.
Oh.
So investors are going to be looking at that. That's why we're a little flat on the market today, I believe, is because people are waiting to see what the Fed has to say, since inflation is still on everybody's mind.
So what do you think? How do you think it's going to turn out?
I think that they're going to try and spin it as positive as they possibly can.
But really, it's
For-
not
because
positive.
for this administration?
Yeah, for that, and so that investors don't get spooked with inflation. Yeah. Because they've been talking about it. That's all the Fed's been talking about is inflation and trying to,
That's like
oh no, we have tools to stop it. We have tools to stop it. But there's big CEOs that are saying it's a real problem. Costco's CEO or CFO said that it's a real problem. So, because consumer goods are going up real high. And now with that hack of the meat plant and stuff like that, we'll see. Interesting.
Indeed.
Russia.
All right. Do I have another article? All right, let's see it. Oh, here we go. Sheets to start accepting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
Get out of town.
So you can pay for your fried macaroni and cheese triangles.
How
with
did you know?
Bitcoin.
Was that a word of knowledge? That's the only thing I eat there.
That's the only thing I eat there.
Me too.
It's delicious.
Wow.
gosh, this is-
That works. That works. Thanks.
So you'll be able to pay for it with your cryptocurrencies. And yeah, I think that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty
There's going to be
awesome.
more and more of that we're going to see if they don't start regulating and cracking down on it, but I don't think they will.
What is the system that they're using to translate the Bitcoin into
They're using
actual money?
it says digital payment platform Flexa.
Flex.
I haven't looked into it because I just saw that article before I came on.
Mommy's
but
gonna look into Flexa.
Yep, I'm definitely looking into Flexa as well.
FLEXA.
Yep, see if it's traded. See if it's a public company.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
if it is.
okay.
I'll look it up real quick.
There was somebody here. Who was it?
Does anybody have any questions?
Miss Veronica wants to know what's the best app or site to buy Dogecoin. So like explain that to some people, because the market, you can't just go into like an average like to invest in stocks or buy or whatever and buy crypto. So what are some good apps or websites where you can buy crypto?
The best app for like new beginners, I'd say, would be Robinhood. Because you can buy Dogecoin on there, no problem. Mm-hmm. And you can invest with as little as $1.
But you can't buy XRP on Doge.
You can't buy XRP.
No.
But
So if you wanted to buy if you wanted to buy Ripple and a few other ones that are not available at Robinhood, what are some?
Uphold, you can buy XRP, and then Coinbase would be another good one. Because that way, if the IRS starts cracking down on cryptocurrencies, which they said they're going to do, the Coinbase actually reports all your earnings to the IRS. So
Now,
to be-
I have a question.
yes,
For those people that are looking to invest, give me like 2 or 3 qualities for like somebody who's a good investor, like somebody who can be a good investor.
yeah,
Because I think a lot of people, like if they invest $10, if they invest $100, they like can't let that go. Like they have to look at the market like 24/7, and then they're down and they start sweating and they start panicking. Give me like 2 or 3 qualities for like a good investor.
don't look at the market unless you're day trading. If you're day trading a stock, then you can keep looking at it. But if you're not,
John?
then what you do is you buy the stock that you want to buy, that you've researched, and you set yourself like a price target in mind.
Okay.
So if the stock's $100 and you want to sell it at 150, then sell it at 150.
Right.
Don't get greedy. And I think that would be like the biggest thing that you have to learn, is because if you keep looking at it and you see it going up and up and up and up, you're like, yes, it's going to go up more tomorrow. And then, earnings come out and it crashes and you lose money and you're upset. And so I think that's one of the things that you have to look out for, especially as a beginner investor. And I had to do that.
And how much money do you think like somebody who's new to the system should invest?
I can start with $100 or $200.
Okay.
Because you can buy fractional shares on Robinhood. You can just buy like a piece of the stock and just see how it goes, and then just calculate your percentages. So if I would have invested $1,000, it went up 2%, I would have made this much, and then you can keep going from there.
Okay. And would you recommend the people that are investing to do more lower risk instead of the high risk, and then like just trading and selling,
Yeah.
like lots of people in this ministry do?
Unless you have like the time to look at it, day trading I don't know. I mean, you have to like stay on it.
Right.
Because it can change within like a minute. And if you get pulled off somewhere else and you're doing something else, you lose out on what you wanted to do. And so I've day traded. I've done day trading, and I've done, regular trading, and a lot of times at the end of the year what will happen is I'll make as much money with the day trading as I did with the stocks that I just let go.
Exactly.
Because it's like up and down, and then you have like an average when I could have just let it all go, and then made the same amount of money.
Wonderful. Any other questions?
Are we taking phone calls?
Yeah, we can take phone calls.
20 minutes before the show is over. Flexa is not a publicly traded.
It's not. No, I was just looking at it. Not yet.
Yeah, yeah. And it looks like she's
Shows Flex June 1st. Flexa. So I mean that's probably like a brand new.
Yeah, they just announced it.
Yeah. She's currently operating. Oh, okay, good.
Any calls? Any questions? Any comments?
I'll say that even easier than Coinbase or Robinhood, because you have to kind of go through. Have you tried Cash App, investing on Cash App?
I have not, no.
It is the easiest way to invest, I think.
Cash App.
Cash App, yeah.
That's a good one, yeah.
Because you have like your app on the bottom. You have how much money you have whatever, how to send money, receive money, and then there's like a little Bitcoin / stock little figure here, and you just click on that, and then you just start putting some of your money in there. I mean, it is literally, and then look at this. This is my entire portfolio all in one look.
Taking a look here at Roblox, somebody asked, thoughts on Roblox? I have never looked at that company before.
I owned it. We have a call. You want to take it, Pat?
Yes.
Hey, Pat?
Hello? Your name and where you're calling from?
Phil Venanzi from Peters Township, Pennsylvania.
Phil, what's up?
How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Doing good, just working, and thought I'd get a call in.
And how can I help you today? What is your question, sir?
So my question would be, what would you tell people about using options and inverse ETFs to hedge current positions?
Options, okay. I've used options before to hedge, some of the investments that I've made. I don't use inverse ETFs to do that. Just because I like to hedge, that stock with the stock. So if I'm buying the stock, then I'll buy, a put on it or whatever to hedge it. But a lot of times, especially in the market that we're in right now, I didn't even need it. The only time that I've done it where it like worked out was with space, the SPCE, the Virgin Galactic Holdings.
Yep.
Where it like,
Yep.
because in January they were cranking and then they crashed, and that's the only time where it like paid off for me to sell my puts that I had on it, and I actually made money when it came back up again then. So it worked out real well. But I have not used inverse ETFs for that, for hedging. What do you think about it?
I typically just use inverse ETFs whenever I expect a big dip. They'll buy a handful of them and try and time it so when it really dips, then you get a big pop. But you don't want to put too much money in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, you can cause some issues there.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for calling,
taking my
Phil.
call.
Yep, no problem.
Love you. We love you.
All right, inverse
Yeah.
inverse
was he
ETFs
talking about?
run inverse to whatever stock or the market. So if you get like an ETF, you get an inverse ETF that like runs.
So like if
inverse
one of
to
them
it.
goes up, the other one can.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So you got like for gold, there's like a gold bull ETF and a gold bear ETF, and then you can like hedge your gold with the bear ETF.
So you don't do that.
Next call.
Hi, caller.
Welcome to the show. Check the news. How are you doing?
Market.
Check the market.
Oh, sorry. Check the market. Force a habit. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is James Morris from Communist California.
Oh.
Woo! All right, so what's your question for Patrick?
But we're hoping it gets better.
Good.
Yeah, me
Good.
too.
It is.
Yeah,
We're gonna anyway. I won't get into all that, but I was just wondering. AMC
Yes.
has been, skyrocketing. I wanted to get your thoughts on AMC.
Let's see here.
I had AMC.
I
and
have
sold
not
it like a
to
bozo.
imagine.
In the negative too. That's why I feel like trading is not for everybody, because that was a weak point. You can't sell when it's going down. You need to
Yeah.
train yourself not to do that and
So
get overwhelmed.
It's up another 20%.
28%.
Sorry, 27%, 27.8%. Just today.
That hurts. That
They're
stinks.
they're really pushing it on. It's like the number one talked about on, even more so than GameStop, on Wall Street Bets. So all those they have over 10 million people following that Reddit site, and they're basically ganging up on the hedge funds.
Wow.
The last I checked, I read an article. I have to see if I can pull it up tomorrow. It's an article that said that the hedge funds have already lost $9.5 billion from these regular investors.
Do you think that this has to do with the end time money, transference of the wicked to the just? Do you think there's gonna be something here?
To the 15-year-olds trading on their debt account.
But I feel like that's the beginning.
Yeah, it could be.
So AMC.
AMC.
AMC said it was launching AMC Investor Connect to put the company in direct communications with the extraordinary base of enthusiastic and passionate individual shareholders.
Yeah.
To keep them up to date about company information and to provide them with special offers. The move comes as AMC's retail shareholder base has grown to more than 3 million over the last several months and owned more than 80% of the company's outstanding shares. Quote, "We intend to communicate often with these investors and from time to time provide them with special benefits at our theaters." So think about this. They are now adding these incentives for you to invest in their company.
So
Free movie tickets,
Brilliant.
whatever, free popcorn. That's actually very smart.
We start with free large popcorn on us,
There we go.
by the way. I will have. Still
You
in it.
own
I'm
it,
still in
you
it.
son of a
I
gun.
never, diamond hands, y'all, diamond hands. Is there any way that we can create my hands to be diamonds? Okay, let me see. We start with free large popcorn on us when they attend their first
you never
movie
sold. I thought you did sell. Me and Jonathan.
at an AMC theater this summer. To sign up for AMC Investors Connect, investors must enroll as an AMC Stubs member, which includes AMC Stubs Insider, AMC Stubs Premier, and AMC Stubs A-List. Some other investor benefits through AMC Investors Connect include invitations to special screenings, communications directly from CEO Aaron, and free discounted items. So they have found a way to capitalize on this Reddit thing, which I think is like really interesting, because like when you talk about the hedge funds losing all of this cash, there's a group of people that are going up against these hedge funds that are saying, you know, you have a way of doing it, we're going to do it basically the same way.
Yeah.
Because ultimately you have like the Reddit, these simpletons per se, that don't really know what they're doing, and they are basically doing the same thing that the hedge funds are doing.
Yeah.
True or not true?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now it's like this, you have an entire litany of people, including all of us, that are interested in the market.
Yeah.
And there's money to be made.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of money to be made. So I'm wondering how soon it's going to turn in favor of the people versus, you know, protecting these hedge funds.
I think it's, for a while, it's still going to be protecting these hedge funds, because these hedge funds, they have way more tools than even we, that we don't even have access to as individual investors. They can see who's trading the stock when it's not being traded through, you know, regular channels. And so they have way more tools than we have to
Along with way more money.
along with way more money, but they
But
are
AMC,
losing it.
They are losing it. It's a slow trickle.
You said 94 billion?
Yeah. There'll come, if this keeps continuing, there'll come a point where they're going to be in trouble, not because, you know, it's a hedge fund or whatever, but they'll be in trouble from people that invest in those, that put their money in those hedge funds. Like, what are you doing with my money? Why is it gone?
For sure.
And you don't want to mess with those people, the billionaires.
Well, AMC
Right.
can only go up because once they start making movies again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're talking about, like, we've got like 1 or 2 movies out that are brand new.
Yeah.
Like, everything else is just completely there. The movie industry has been completely obliterated.
Yeah.
So when that starts picking up, it's gonna like just skyrocket. Don't you agree?
What they're saying is they want to take it to 500,000 a share. That's what some of the guys were saying on it.
Okay. Relax. I don't know about all that.
But I mean, at this point, would it be worth buying into if you don't have any AMC? Like, is it worth buying into that stock, or are you even able to? Because
Able to buy it? Yeah. You're still
they
able to
have
buy into it. I don't think they're going to pull that anymore because that like got a severe backlash, and even from like politicians at that point.
Right.
And then they'll want the politicians off their backs, so they're not going to, you know, halt trading, because they haven't halted trading now, and they're basically doing the same thing that they did in January, where it was like a big deal.
So if you had some extra money kicking around, would you put some in AMC?
In AMC?
Yeah.
No.
I agree. I'm like, I don't want to buy in anymore because it's like it's already skyrocketed. I feel like that's another idiot move to, like, right when it's high, you buy
Yeah.
in at high. I feel like a loser. Maybe it's just like my pride getting in the way, but I feel like no, now
'Cause
it's
you-
done.
You'll see these spikes, and then eventually it's gonna come back down, and you know, should have bought in it 2 weeks ago, but
Right. Yeah.
or 3 weeks
Someone has
ago,
a
yeah.
question here.
Be happy about it.
Can you explain? I forget what was the question.
Can you briefly explain short-term capital gain tax
There it
and
is.
long-term?
That's it.
Okay, so if you invest short-term, like if you day trade, you're going to be taxed at your regular rate. So you're going to be taxed at whatever your income level is. Versus if you invest long-term, then your gains are going to be taxed at a lower rate, 15, 20, whatever it is. That's the difference between it. So if you day
You're
trade,
ensuring that you're not moving that money.
exactly, there's incentives for investing long-term.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, every time somebody made $100, they would sell and then, you know, reinvest it and try to do the same thing again. But you're taxed at a higher rate at that point.
What were your 3 things yesterday? What was the 3?
The 3
companies?
stocks from yesterday was Good, Gladstone, Commercial Corporation, Real Estate Investment Trust, Boeing, and NIO, NIO Electric Vehicles. And for today, low risk is Amazon. That would be like long term. If you get in it, it would be like long term. Medium is Palo Alto Networks. And high risk is Blackberry, which is now down to 1269, 1271, up about 10% on the day, but it had a few peaks and valleys already. So if you are day trading that stock, you can make some money on it.
I can't find Good Gladstone. What is the name for that?
It's GOOD. Good.
Oh, there it is.
The platform that I invest on is TD Ameritrade. I use Thinkorswim and Robinhood, just for I usually split it up, like my speculative investing I do on Robinhood and the others I do on Thinkorswim with TD Ameritrade. Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, the market's up 90 points on the Dow, over 90 points, 7 on the S&P, and the Nasdaq's down a little bit. Russell's down a little bit. Crude oil's up. Gold's up again. Yeah, and that's it. Any other questions? Any other callers?
Questions?
Not Will.
I use Ally as the app. What are your thoughts on Ally, if any? Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Me neither.
Like Ally Bank? I'll look into it. That might be something from Ally Bank, the online bank.
What is Forex? Probably another app, kind of app.
Forex is foreign exchange trading.
Oh,
That's like currency trading. Forex.
there it is. There's your answer. What do you think of Algorand?
Algorand.
I mean, I'd be impressed if you knew all of these things, because I'm like,
No, I have to look some of these up. Algorand. Let's take a look.
this guy, Justin, I believe that you're referring to Patrick Franz. Who is this guy? He has good info.
Thank you.
His name is Patrick Franz. It's his show. We're just on it. To crack.
Algorand US dollar coin metrics. I'm not sure what this is. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it and then
It's
we'll
a
get back to you.
crypto, Krista says.
It is? Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you might not agree with everything we say on this show, but can we put that disclaimer up? Because I think it's absolutely hilarious. Can we just put there it is. Nobody on this broadcast is a financial advisor, banker, or broker. In fact, most of these personalities can't even spell financial investor. What you're about to tune into
Messed up.
is purely commentary, an analysis of the market and what is going on in the world of finances. You should probably watch something else. That was just for any people that are watching on YouTube that are like, what the heck is going on? Thanks for the input, bro.
No problem.
I actually have now on my Robinhood account Pat's pick. So I got all of yours.
So we'll see how I do.
We'll see how you
For
do.
some of them, you're gonna have to wait like 10 years, like for Amazon.
Yeah, no. Listen, I know what's his name? What is his name? Warren Buffett. His take on doing things is long term.
Yeah.
For just any Joe Schmo. Obviously, he doesn't do it that way.
Yeah.
But he's saying like if you invest in some kind of account or whatever, it would take you 10 years. Hold off on I feel like that's a stupid thing.
It's not.
I know it isn't, but like we don't have, like how are you guaranteed 20 years? We don't have 20 years. Jesus is coming back.
Yes.
But it's still a good idea, you're saying. I still think it's stupid. But he's the one that's rich and he would know.
He's a value investor.
I get it.
Boring stuff.
I get it. Because he says just invest and don't touch till you are old and about to drop dead.
Yeah.
For the beginning investors in stocks, there's an app called Stash. You can pay either $1 a month, $3, or $9, and depending on which plan you pick, it auto invests for you. That's a little scary.
There's a lot of companies that do that, like the auto investing. It's like robo investing.
I feel like that's scary to me. Because if I lose money, like I was an idiot and bought quite a bit of Safe Moon, and now I'm
Is Safe Moon crashing or what? What's up with Safe Moon? I'm down quite a bit.
Why?
Steph, how much are you down? Yeah.
60% down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy some now.
Yeah.
The place we commented about buying land is Landwatch, right?
Yes.
Landwatch, and that's a website.
Land. There's a couple of other ones like farmland or something like that.
Yeah, all you have to do is just do Google
like a
search.
Google search.
Like land for
Yeah,
sale.
buying land.
Arizona land
Yeah.
for sale. I mean, you could get really like a quarter acre or whatever. And it's super easy to do it.
Yeah.
What is a penny stock?
A penny stock is anything that's like under $1 would be considered a penny stock. So anything that's like 99, like 1 cent or even less than a cent to 99 cents.
But super high risk.
Yeah, they're usually fairly high risk. And they're not, if they are listed, they're probably going to get delisted because they're under $1, delisted from the exchanges, and then they'll just be traded on what they call the pink sheets or over the counter, where you just, it's not traded on like an exchange, like a stock exchange.
You'll never come back up. Jay Turk? Is that Jay? Jessica?
I know that I had trouble with this. I'm gonna ask you one more question. I don't know how long this show goes. How long does this show go? Is it over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the difference between OTC and the New York Stock Exchange? For those of you, because you've already told me, but I feel like this could help somebody.
OTC is just you're basically buying it like over the counter. It's not traded on like
So I'm
stock
basically
exchange.
purchasing it from the company itself.
You're basically purchasing either from the company or some other broker that owns it, or you're purchasing it from another person.
Okay.
So that's why sometimes when you sell those stocks, nobody even wants to buy them because if somebody else doesn't want to buy the stock, then you can't even sell it.
Oh.
So it's just like I'm selling my stock to you, and then you want to sell it back, but you can't find anybody to buy it.
I
So
see.
that's why you can get trapped in those like less than 1 cent stocks because there's nobody wants to buy it. And
Now,
that's
what
another risk
happens
of
if,
them.
let's say, I purchased a stock OTC and then they go into the New York Stock Exchange, like they're like now become a publicly traded company?
It'll just your shares will just come over.
Oh,
onto
okay.
the
So
New-
I don't.
yeah.
So then it just
You don't have to do anything.
transitions.
Like the brokerage firms and the clearing firms and all that, they take care of all of that.
And that's no guarantee moving into transitioning into New York Stock Exchange that's going to fly up.
No,
or
because
down.
you have to apply to be, and you have to meet certain criteria to even be listed on like the New York Stock Exchange, and at that point the company is usually fairly valuable. So it'll be like a penny stock, but it'll already be worth probably more than $5.
So you would probably discourage somebody from doing an OTC.
I mean, I'm not going to discourage them if they're interested and they've researched the company
Right.
and they think it's good. Then yeah, go ahead.
I feel like that's a major
But
thing
if
that
it's
people
something-
don't.
yeah.
It's not just about you buying the company. It's just doing your own research so
Yeah.
that you know because ultimately what this is you're saying I want a share of this company.
Yes.
So you as now you're going to be a shareholder of this
Yeah,
company. Have to
you're
do
literally
your-
an owner of that company.
Right. You need to do your due diligence and like researching
Yes.
the ups and downs of what's happening.
Yeah.
Which Robinhood is really cool about that because any articles that come out about the different things that you've invested,
They'll send you like a
they'll
notification.
send you right.
Yeah.
So that's a really great app. I mean, obviously it's had its downfall throughout the Doge and whatever, but whatever.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. It is Check the Market. We will see you tomorrow at the same exact time, 9:20
I have another question.
ish.
Do you think the market's going to crash?
At some point it will. At some
Like-
point it's
like-
going to come back down.
Like 5? What's your like? If you had an estimate,
we're going to see a correction within the next 2 years for sure. I think maybe 20% down or something like that. We just saw a correction in tech stocks.
do you think that COVID was a cover up for things that were happening in the money market?
I've never looked into that.
No. Interesting. To the moon.